Well, good day, Tubes. How's she going? Pretty good here. Doing pretty good. Let's just get in the shed here. I got some heat on, so it's going to be kind of loud in here. I know the noise of the fan on the heaters doesn't sound loud in here, but man, on the video, it's really loud. Anyways, we just got her a little warm in here. Not going to be in here for too long. But I just wanted to say I had my MRI done for my back, and I'm all screwed up. I was screwed up for years ago, but I'm all screwed up. Anyways, had my MRI done, and that's an experience that I'm going to say I don't ever want to do again. I'm not claustrophobic, but I'm telling you, there's not a lot of room in them MRI machines when you're laying on that bed and you're already not comfortable laying on your back. Whew. That was hard, let me tell you, to keep still for like 20 minutes. That thing sitting there banging away. But anyways, that was a 4 a.m. appointment that I had to be there for a 4:30 on the table MRI. Yeah, 4 a.m. So here I am leaving here at like 2 something in the morning to go over there. It's about an hour away roughly, time to get in the hospital, which is the worst hospital I think I've ever seen for setup for parking. And if someone was like me not getting around that too well at that time, they sure didn't make it very easy to get in there, I'll tell you what. But anyways, I did get in, and I had to walk around the whole bloody hospital to find the friggin' entrance. But anyways, I did get in, and that really sucked. But yeah, got in there, got checked in, got all changed. They put you in like, I could have done surgeries by the looks of what I was wearing. I had like, you know, the booties on and like the scrub thing in the pants, the scrub pants and everything. It was good. They did find the original x-rays I found, the radiologist says there's potentially 3 fractured vertebrae, which I'm like, ooh, that's not good. The MRI showed 3 herniated discs. Not terrible bad, but enough that I guess one of them is pushing on my one nerve that kind of goes through all that. What a stupid place to put nerves, let me tell you. I guess they're the safest in there, but oh man, going all through all those bones and stuff, and you get one little disc that pops out and it just pushes on it. My God, the pain and discomfort that gives you is just ridiculous. But anyways, 3 ruptured discs, and it's been getting better. I've been taking it fairly easy, not really doing a whole lot, and so far so good. So still having some trouble walking and sleeping. Oh man, it's like I'm fine right now. I don't feel too bad at all, but man, when I get to lay down on either side or my back, I don't generally sleep on my back too much because of the breathing part. It's not like, they said I had a mild sleep apnea. I don't think it's a sleep apnea, it's just I forget to breathe when I'm on my back, so I lay on my sides usually. But anyways, and the memory is terrible too. We had the MRI done, and 3 ruptured or herniated discs, they want to call it. My doctor said, well, it's not really bad enough to get into doing any surgery. I don't know, he really skirts around a lot of stuff, my doctor. I'm kind of almost thinking I want to see if I can find another one, although we don't have any more new doctors in town here, so I'll have to stick with him, I guess. But some things that he's done through the past, I'm like, why wouldn't you have just given me the meds to look after this? You know, instead of just, oh, well, that's not something we normally test for or treat. Okay, but anyways, another story. But anyways, yeah, so I had that done. Basically, he says just take it easy and enjoy the pain, basically, he tells me. I'm like, oh, great, thanks a lot. So anyways, I left there not really too happy. Plus, he was like an hour and a half late getting me in there, which that kind of ticked me off a bit. I know it's probably not his fault. Maybe he had an emergency to go to. I don't know. I didn't ask. But anyways, he apologized for, you know, being late. I'm like, no, that's all right. Here I am in the chair. I was actually hurting pretty good that day when I went to the doctor about a week and a half after I had the MRI done. And I'm sitting in the chair. I'm like, oh man, my appointment was 10 a.m. and it's like, 10:15. I'm like, holy crap, they're usually getting me in. I'm trying to move around and trying not to move too much because it was hurting so friggin' much. But anyways, even if I got up and walked around, it didn't really help much. But anyways, no fun. So anyways, I finally got in there and did all that with him, and he basically told me, oh yeah, no, we can't really treat that. I'm like, great, so just deal with the pain. But anyways, laying down, that's what I was at. Laying down, oh man, when I get laying on my side, either or, just the ache, not the back, but all the way down my right leg. It's just the sciatic nerve, I guess, is getting pinched because I'm laying down, or a nerve in there or something that's going all the way down the leg. Oh man, it's just brutal. But eventually, I guess the muscles kind of relax, and then I pass out, fall asleep, whatever, and then sometimes I've been waking up in the night too. But anyways, enough of me and the health crap today. I thought I'd give you an update of that. Just going to be sort of a shorty today, and then it's a decision for the video coming up later this week for you guys of what you wanted to see. So, on the bench here, I've got 2 engines that I've been kind of wanting to do something with for a little while and just haven't really done it because I haven't really been feeling like it. But anyways, this is a couple engines here. One is off my pressure washer, and it's about the heck one was this now? It's the engine that come on my pressure washer, and it's one of the Power Fist ones, basically a knockoff one. I think it's about an 11 horse. 11 horse? Or 13 maybe. 15. Sorry, I'm really wrong. Anyways, 15 horse. Well, it says model 15, I presume 15 horse. I think it's more like I don't know. It's a fairly big engine. Now I don't know. It's definitely not Honda, I'm gonna tell you. Right off the start. This thing, I mean, it ran, and sometimes it didn't want to run or start at all. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? So it really ticked me off with this engine. That's why I switched and put my 9-horse Honda in, which has been just a joy to run now. I mean, even this stupid thing's so cheesy, it doesn't even want to thread back on right. Like, oh my goodness. That's terrible. Terrible quality. There. Of course, that was my left hand too. I can't really thread stuff too well with my left hand. But anyways, this is the one I got on my 4,000 PSI pressure washer. I've changed it now to my 9-horse Honda. And way better, way better. With this thing, you'd have to just, and it's so stiff to pull over. And I don't think it's compression. I think there's something wrong. But anyways, got this engine here, and I got this old 4-cycle Lawson engine that my stepdad gave me there a while back. And he says it runs really nice. I don't know anything about it. It's on this pretty sweet little skid, and it's got this gear reducer thing on it too, which I think he was planning on running his little mini baler off it, but I don't think he ever did, but that I know of anyways. But oh, that's on there real stiff. Anyways, little wee guy. I don't know what horsepower this is. It might be like, it wouldn't even be probably a 1 horse, I don't think. This thing was maybe half a horse. I'd be surprised. Pretty small. Pretty small. And I don't even know if it's got a throttle there, I guess. You hook up to something, so it's pulling that. Yeah, okay. A little wee air filter in this guy too. And like I say, I don't really know much about this. I haven't really looked it up, or oh, this might be an oil bath. It's supposed to be, but he's got no oil in it. We'll look at all this later, though. But anyways, my question is, for the video for later, probably this week. Oh, there we go. I don't know. Okay. for the video for later this week, would you guys like to first see, I'm going to do both of these engines eventually here, what we're going to do with them. What does this say here? For starting engine, fill crankcase to overflow point with mobile or equal SAE 30 summer or Arctic SAE 20 winter. Check oil after 8 hours of running. Drain oil in for 25 hours of running. Refill crank with a new oil. 25 hours is not very long, is it? Okay, so my question to you, got two engines. What would you rather see first? Would you rather see us try to get the Lawson running here and see how it runs? And it's like the, you know, line it up and pull it out. Or would you like to see, and actually there's kind of two things I wanted to do with this. One, to see why the hell it's, pardon me, why the hell it's so hard to pull. And, which means dismantle and, you know, look inside here. We're going to pull the side cover off and see if everything's all right in there. Pull the head off here maybe, muffler and all this stuff. And we'll see if the valves and everything are all right in there and how they're looking. And the other thing I wanted to do with this while we kind of had her apart was I'd like to take the piston out, the rings out, just examine them. And I want to take off the oil control ring, which is on the very bottom. I don't have a piston here to show, but on the very bottom of the piston. Put it back together, run it, and see how it runs with no oil ring control rings in it. If it'll start. It might not start. I don't know. This thing's a weapon, that's for sure. But anyways, so let me know in the comments what you think you'd like to see. And like I said, we're gonna do, there's a big hole there, that's weird. It's like a drilled hole. We're gonna do both eventually, but what would you like to see first? Would you like to see tear down on this crappy Power Fist to see why it's being so hard, and then we'll pull it apart and pull the rings off, see if we can get it to run without the oil control ring, see well how much it smokes, if it'll even run too long with that. Or would you like to see us try to get this little Lawson engine going here, which I think is maybe around a half a horse-ish. And like I say, he's had it running. It smells kind of gassy-ish, dried out in there. I don't think that's exactly the right cap for it, but anyways. Nice little guy though, eh? It's pretty cool. There's even a little drain valve, I guess, on the carburetor there. It might leak too. I have no idea. I don't know anything about this engine. So yeah, but let me know what you think. And you know, we're gonna do both eventually here, but what would you like to see first? Anyways, there's your ultimatum. You can just leave your thoughts or whatever you want in the comments on the bottom, and then we'll go from there. Whatever kind of gets the most comments. Let's see the Lawson. Now let's tear apart the crappy fist. And we'll go with that. But anyways, that's probably it for today. I don't think there's anything else. I haven't done any more with my little electric chainsaw up there. I did put a little bit of oil back in it, but I forgot to bring the battery out to try it. But anyways, I don't know, that oil that might be just too thick, but play with that another day, I guess. But anyways, let me know what you think, and we'll go from there. But anyways, just a short one for you today. I just kind of trying to get back at things a little bit, you know. And oh, got one other thing to tell you, actually. I haven't had the 800 out for a wee while. The Ford 800 still in the shed there in the container. It's got the hood off still and everything. We have, I think, now had the oil pan off twice. It's not a fun job. I'm thinking it's going to have to come off again. Not for engine work, not necessarily engine work. I think that sort of hammer and rattling I'm hearing when I first start it is the oil pump. The only thing I'm thinking that is because when it starts, it kind of gives a bit of a rattle, I guess. I'm thinking until it builds a bit of pressure. And the pressure comes up to around, well, I can't remember 100% now. It doesn't come up to where it kind of should. But as soon as it warms up, it's dropping a lot. And let me see if I got pictures. Oh, no, I don't have my phone with me. Must have left it in the house. But anyways, it seemed to drop like down below 20 psi when it's running and it's warmed up. And 20 psi is probably enough, but that's not right. Something's, I think, wore out, and it's probably the two little gears that mesh I can only do it with one hand, but that mesh in that, I'm going to shut this off while it's off. They mesh in that oil pump housing, and I think it's maybe, wore out. I think that's what the sort of rattling is I'm getting when it first starts cold. And the oil's thicker, of course, when it's cold, and it does build pressure, as it should, when it's cold. But then as soon as it warms up, it's dropping down way more than it should, because I'm comparing it to my, if you've seen the Facebook page, you know I wasn't too happy with that. The Jubilee that my stepdad had, it made real good oil pressure, like really good. And it was like 45 to 50 all the time. So I think something's wrong with it. Sometimes they say too on the pickup tube, there's a tube that comes from an oil pump that kind of goes down into the sump, like basically the bottom of the oil pan, and it picks oil up from there. Sometimes they say you can get cracks in those, and from how, I don't know, vibrations maybe, they might crack, and it'll actually kind of suck a bit of air there, and it'll still get some oil, but not what it should. So we're going to have to take it off, investigate it. Might just replace the dang thing to begin with anyways, and then go from there. I just don't want to do that this time of year when it's kind of cold and you get some condensation. If I got the pan off for a few days or even a week, you get a bit of condensation in there, and it's kind of starting to rust and stuff. It's not good for things inside the engine, right? So we'll wait till the weather's nicer, and then it's cold laying on the floor in there too, right? And probably shouldn't do that right now myself either. So I also got to take it off and kind of sort of see if I can figure out from pictures of what kind of oil pump it is, because apparently there was 2 different types of oil pumps in them things, and I don't know which one that is. So, but oh man, that tractor is so freaking cursed. I don't know what's going on with it, but I'm gonna sit down a minute. Oh, on the on the plate hamper. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that, because I think that's where that kind of startup, sort of a rattling noise, I guess I would call it, is coming from, I think, under there. And it only led me to think of that because of the oil pressure problem. Like, bet you something's wore out in there. So as soon as it builds a bit of pressure, it probably stops that rattle. So I think something's wore out in there. I wouldn't doubt it, because everything else has been wore out. And that's probably from someone running it for a lot of times with dirty oil or no oil. You never know what they did with it, right? Who knows? Only the tractor knows what happened to itself over all those years of being run. But, I mean, it still runs and does run a little better now. But, yeah, there's definitely something going on with that oil pressure. So, and that's something that you really should kind of not ignore, too, right? Because the way that one works is it's got to develop a fair good amount of oil pressure there, because what happens, it builds it up in the system there, and it shoots it out of the rod caps. There's a couple of little holes. So it shoots it through the crankshaft, pumps it through the crankshaft, and then shoots it through these little, well, lubricates all the journals and stuff in there on the, the crankshaft and the rods and stuff. And then it shoots it out the cap. There's a little hole in those caps, if you remember, and it fires that up onto the camshaft. So you got to kind of have the right oil pressure for that engine, or you're going to maybe run those cams dry, and that would be really bad, because I don't really want to get into doing that. But yeah, so that's a job going to be coming up probably when the weather turns nicer here. So if the back behaves itself, we'll maybe be able to get into that. But other than that, boy, there's just not a whole lot really happening here. Me not feeling well, and holy smack, we had a cold snap there, and it was like minus 25, felt like minus 30 something Celsius for about a week here. And I sure as heck didn't feel like going to do anything when it was cold weather like that. So I just kind of stayed in the house and didn't really do too much. So, and luckily the cemetery part's actually been fairly quiet too. So that's all right, because jumping in and off the tractor probably wouldn't be good. And I think it's the backhoe that's done that to me. Basically, say we're sitting on the backhoe here, we got the arm way out. My arm is the backhoe arm. We're digging, in the trailer, and it's moving you around and stuff. But the odd time, if you're scraping the back wall, so you got the bucket right out, and you're scraping down, it'll kind of lift you up. You don't really realize it. It'll lift you up a bit, and then boom, that'll go, and it just kind of boom. It drops you, like it just compresses your spine. I'm sure that's what's done it to me. That, or hammering around on the old mower and stuff too. That might have done it too. Maybe potentially the zero turn mower. It's got no suspension on that thing, and it does kind of hammer you around a bit too. You don't realize, you start compressing your spine, you're compressing those discs in your spine, and they get thinner, and then it starts to push that gooey stuff out, right? Or whatever, that's the kind of rubberized stuff that's between your vertebrae there in your spine. You get those pushing out and pushing on a nerve. Man, wow, that hurts a lot. If you've ever felt that, you know what I mean. It's kind of like someone taking a knife and stabbing it right through your back, and, yeah, it sucks. It does suck, but anywho, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Haven't done anything with the sawmill. I'm should comment on that. I'm up in arms about what I want to do. If I want to pour a base, got two options I'm kind of thinking of. If I want to pour a base for the sawmill, get my buddy to come help me pour a base for the sawmill, or if I just buy the trailer kit for it and put it on the trailer kit, and then at least then I can kind of move it around, move it out of the way, clean up the area, with the loader bucket or whatever where I was, cutting there. And if I wanted to, I could take it to someone's house and do some milling, which I don't really know if I do that, but hey, you never know, right? You never know what'll happen. Other than that, that's what I'm kind of looking at. Now I got to get the trailer kit with the extension too, because I've got that extra, 6 feet, so it's a 16-inch trailer basically that I'd have to get and put together. Comes all in bits and pieces and lots of nuts and bolts and this and that and the other things. So it'd be a little bit of work, but I actually left a question comment on the Woodland Mills Facebook group, and asked the guys that have the trailer what they think about it, and how if there's any goods or bads, and everybody said pretty much all good things, really. And they were like, oh yeah, it makes it nice and stiff and rigid, and I'm like, yeah, but then you gotta level it all and everything every time you want to use it, and it's got jacks on it, and you gotta level it all up that way, I guess. And they said it stays pretty stiff, but it is all bolted together, right? So over time, you think all this twisting and going down the road and stuff, and the saw blade or the saw head going over it and stuff, it might kind of eventually kind of wear out. But that'd be probably a lot of hours down the road too, right? So, kind of thinking I want to do it on that, because then I can at least take it to someone else's place if they needed some cutting or something done. I could do that, but it's a fair bit of money too, right? So you guys better start watching my content so you can pay for this friggin' trailer. No, whatever you guys want to do is fine. I love you guys. You guys are the best. You've been really good to me, so I try to be really good back to you, but when you're hurting and in pain, it's really hard. But I'm trying to do some more of the video game stuff, because I can just kind of sit there and do that, and I don't really have to do anything, right? But anyways, got to make sure, apparently everything's really locked up here now. Truck and everything's locked, and our neighbor right next door had her car broken into last night. And I'm like, please come try to break into mine. I'll shoot you dead. I got a backhoe in the cemetery. You'll never be found. But anyways, yeah, she got her car broken into, and she's like the neatest, cleanest lady you ever meet. So there's like absolutely nothing in her car. So they rifled through a bunch of stuff, and her basic stuff like her manual, and she might have some stuff if she got stranded on the road, and her insurance papers and ownership and stuff, they kind of toss at her on the car. But she's like, I got nothing in my car, so they didn't find nothing. So I'm like, holy smokes. But as far as I know, they didn't come over here. Like I say, I'm a pretty light sleeper, so I probably would have heard something. How they got her car open, though, we're not really too sure. But man, oh man, eh? Wish people would just frig off. Really, leave people alone. You're coming to do that to someone's house? That's a good way to get yourself killed. Really, holy smokes, that's pretty bad. You get the wrong person, me perhaps, breaking into my truck or something, it's not going to end too well for somebody. I'm just not threatening or nothing, but I'm just saying, you better be able to run faster than the lead pellets can go, we'll say. But anyways, enough of that crap. I better get going. Got to go sit down for a bit. And, yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys want to see. If you want to see that a little guy run, or do you want to see tear apart this other one? and we'll go with whatever gets the most votes. But anyways, thanks again for watching. Catch you all later, and you guys have a good day. Thanks for listening.